Good afternoon, all. We can begin our program with a silent prayer. Okay, now I invite Ms. Reshmi Anthony to welcome the meeting and introduce the speaker.
Good afternoon, all. Respected resource person, Dr. Remya R., Head of the Department, Dr. Vinita, faculty members, and dear students. Today, we have gathered here to attend the webinar on COVID-19 and environmental impact. The global disruption caused by the COVID-19 has brought about several effects on the environment and climate. Due to movement restriction and a significant slowdown of social and economic activities, air quality has improved in many cities with a reduction in water pollution in different parts of the world. To speak more on this, we have the resource person, Dr. Remya R., Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Studies, Sacred Heart College, Tevara. Dr. Remya is specialized in environmental sciences with a strong research background of more than 10 years in the field of climate change and its impact on marine fisheries sector, fishery biology, identification of marine plankton, and expertise in hydrochemical techniques. Has worked as research associate and senior research fellow in various projects funded by ICAR at Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, Kochi. Pursued MSc and MPhil in Environmental Sciences from Kerala University and awarded PhD degree in Biosciences from Mangalore University. More than 30 national publications in various journals and 3 book chapters. Dr. Remya is also a life member of Indian Science Congress Association. We welcome you, ma'am, and invite you for the session. I also welcome faculty members and students to this program.
Thank you, Reshmi Miss. At the onset, I thank the Department of Mathematics, St. Joseph's College for Women, for giving me an opportunity to present this topic. I also thank all the faculty members. So a very good afternoon to all students. I hope all the students are from mathematics background, right?
Yes.
Today we are going to speak on or we are going to discuss on COVID-19 and environmental impact. So first of all, let us look into the history of COVID-19. You are well aware of how the COVID originated, where it originated. Okay, so let us go back to 2019, where in Wuhan city in China, the COVID was noticed, and actually the first phase or first sign was an unusual pneumonia among the residents of Wuhan city, and it was linked to an animal market that sold poultry and other animals to the public. So this event was soon reported to the WHO or World Health Organization, and this microorganism has been identified as a novel coronavirus, and it was named as COVID-19. Okay, so this is a general topic, and I have taken most of the materials from secondary sources, and since it deals with the general COVID-19 and environmental impacts, not much of scientific details has been incorporated. Okay, so all are from mathematics background, so if you have any doubts, you can interrupt me in between. Okay, it's not a problem, and meanwhile, if I'm going too fast, please remind me. I will go slowly, so you can interact and you can interfere in between any time. Okay. COVID-19, why do you know why it is called as COVID-19 or the abbreviation? Why is it abbreviated as COVID-19? You know, CO stands for corona, VI stands for virus, and D for disease. And the 19 indicates the year in which the first case was detected. So I hope, I don't know how many of you are aware of this term. Anyway, it was interesting for me when I heard that, you know, when I understood the terms like corona, virus, and disease. So it is how the name came. So on January 30, WHO announced that it was a public health emergency of international concern, and on March 11, WHO decided to announce it as a pandemic. Now this pandemic has impacted every aspect of human life and in turn the global economy. So just to give an idea of the coronavirus, how the shape looks and all. So every time when you search the internet, you might have seen the image of this coronavirus. So why is it called as corona? Because, you know, it has crown-like spikes, as you can see here. See, this crown-like spikes are seen on the outer surface of the virus, and therefore it is called as coronavirus. So these viruses are very minute in size, and they contain a single-stranded RNA as the nucleic material. So this is a short, structure of the coronavirus, just to give an idea of how it looks like. So, as you know, every year, or every day, the number of new cases and death is increasing at an alarming rate. Although vaccines have been discovered, yet anyway, we are not able to control it to the fullest extent. And also, you know, the economic and other sectors are receding at a greater rate because we are not able to control it to the maximum. So, depending on the level of COVID-19 impact on each country, the government are imposing lockdowns. Like they are imposing travel restrictions and lockdown to contain the spread of this highly contagious virus. So as you all know, the transmission is through respiratory droplets expelled while we talk, while we laugh, while we cough and sneeze, etc. The respiratory droplets will be coming, and it is the common mode of transmission. So that is why the mask wearing and physical distancing is made mandatory as a tool for protection against the virus, and also use of hand sanitizers, and along with washing hands with soap and water is the best method or the best way or an effective way to kill the virus. So coming to the present status of how when you look into the global level, you can see that in Europe, the second wave of coronavirus has already begun. In US also, the third wave is being occurring, and in India also, this is the picture in India. So here also the green shows the recovery rate and the red shows the confirmed rate. So it is both are being at par. Although the confirmed cases are increasing day by day, the recovery rate is also progressing, but this needs to become really low. This has to come down, only then we can say that we have contained the disease. So, as Rashmi has told, during a lockdown, what were the environmental impacts? We have definitely witnessed a reduction in air quality, a reduction in water quality, and as such, the environment has increased during lockdown. So we'll see each parameter one by one. Now, how has it really impacted the environment, the lockdown? How has the lockdown improved the environment? Okay, so first we'll see air quality. So one of the most evident short-term effects of COVID-19 was the dramatic improvement in air quality. So you might have read in newspapers that the air quality of several cities have improved dramatically. So this period has shown us some of the benefits that could be achieved from a lasting and sustainable reduction in air pollution. So it was an example of how the air quality can be improved by controlling the anthropogenic activities or by controlling the human activities. So this is an example of how the air quality, especially the nitrogen dioxide concentrations dropped. This is a picture which was released by the European Science Agency. So this actually is a picture of the nitrogen dioxide concentration coming down during March 2019 and on March 2020. So this is this was released by the Italian government. So you can see here that the nitrogen dioxide concentrations have been decreased on when compared to 2019. In 2020, you can see a significant reduction in the nitrogen dioxide concentration during the lockdown period. So why? Because there was a decrease in activities which led to decrease in emissions and subsequent layer of air pollution. So also the private use of vehicles have come down during lockdown, and also this was reflected in lower nitrogen dioxide concentrations in many cities. Also another important component is the sanitizer use. So we are using sanitizers particularly during the past 1 year to effectively combat the COVID-19 virus. So these sanitizers are actually made from ethanol, alcohol. These are mainly alcohol-based sanitizers, and the content are mainly ethanol, isopropyl alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, etc. So here the table gives you some of the components of, components found in the sanitizers like ethanol, isopropyl alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, then chlorhexidine gluconate solution, etc. So these chemicals are known to have a toxic and hazardous impact on the environment when released by evaporation. So this is also a case for concern. So the detailed slide I will be.
Sorry to interrupt, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് പറയുന്നു അവർക്ക് കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല എന്ന്.
ഓക്കെ മിസ്, ഒട്ടും കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലേ?
ഇപ്പൊ കുഴപ്പമില്ല മിസ്, ഇപ്പൊ ശരിയായിട്ടുണ്ട്. നേരത്തെ ഒന്നും കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലായിരുന്നു. ആ ഫസ്റ്റ് സ്ലൈഡ് എയർ ക്വാളിറ്റി പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴേ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒന്നും കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലായിരുന്നു.
ഓക്കെ മിസ്സെ, ഒന്ന് പറഞ്ഞോണേ. എനിക്കിവിടെ പ്രശ്നം ഇല്ല, മൈക്രോഫോൺ കുഴപ്പമില്ല. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ
അത് എന്തോ നെറ്റിന്റെ പ്രോബ്ലം ആണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു മിസ്സെ. കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഒന്നും പറ്റുന്നില്ലായിരുന്നു. ആ സൈഡ് അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ നിൽക്കുമായിരുന്നു. മിസ്സെ ഇപ്പൊ
ഞാൻ ആദ്യം മുതൽ തുടങ്ങണോ?
ഇല്ല മിസ്സെ, കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ആ സാനിറ്റൈസറിന്റെ പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതിയാവും.
Okay. So this is regarding sanitizers. So for the past 1 year, we have been using excessive use. We have not been using, but we have been excessively using the sanitizers, which are made up of mainly ethanol, isopropyl alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, etc. So here the table gives you some of the components or chemical components present in sanitizers like ethanol, isopropyl alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, etc. So these alcohol or these sanitizers can affect the aquatic organisms by depleting the oxygen concentration. For terrestrial animals, it is less likely to be exposed to ethanol spills because it evaporates, like it volatilizes, and therefore it is of less concern to terrestrial organisms. But when coming to the aquatic organisms, it is of great concern as it can actually deplete the oxygen level concentration in the aquatic ecosystems. Okay, so that is another issue of concern when during this era or during this COVID-19 era. Next is climate. So climate also have improved, like there has been reduction in greenhouse gas emission over this period, and actually this has enhanced the climate, but it is only a temporary phenomenon. Like when the activity resumes, it will increase again, and again the climate global warming is going to happen. So generally it is being said that an average of temperature ranging from 5 to 11 degrees Celsius can actually favor the growth of these viruses. And observations in the coming months and years regarding the seasonality of COVID-19 in different climatic zones, and also further research is required to speak more on the subject, like how you can link climate and virus spread. The research is only going on because for any climatic data or for any climatic observation, we need to require a large amount of data. So only research in the coming years, we can hope that more research is being dealt in this area, and thereby we can get more results, like how this climate is linked to the virus spread. I hope I am audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Yes. ഇൻ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഒന്ന് പറഞ്ഞേക്കണേ, ബിക്കോസ് എനിക്ക് സ്ക്രീൻ കാണാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഐ എം ഗോയിങ് ഓൺ സ്ക്രീൻ ലൈവ്, ഐ മീൻ PPT ഇടുന്നുണ്ട്.
ഓക്കെ,
ഓക്കെ,
കുഴപ്പമില്ല, ഞങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞോളാം.
യെസ്, ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു. So consumption, next factor is regarding consumption and resource use. So regarding resource use, there has been an increase in the production and consumption of plastics, and thereby the plastic waste also, because there has been a sudden increase in the global demand for this PPE. I hope you know PPE എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ personal protective equipment, അതിന്റെ short form ആണ് PPE. PPE such as examples of PPE are mask, gloves, gowns, bottled hand sanitizers, etc. So ഇപ്പോൾ കുറച്ച് 2-3 വർഷങ്ങളായിട്ട് ഇതിന്റെ ഒരുപാട് യൂസ് കൂടി. There is an urgent demand for all these PPE kits. So according to a recent estimate by WHO, it is been said that approximately 89 million medical masks is needed per month. Okay, this is a global estimate, together with 76 million examination gloves and 1.6 million sets of goggles. So ഇത്രയും കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് WHO പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളത്. That is globally you are in need of this much PPE kits. So you can estimate how much of resource we are using and how much of waste are being generated. So the production, consumption and disposal of these single-use plastics will lead to greater impacts on environment, like it will lead to increased air pollution and greenhouse gas emission, waste generation, risk of littering. All these are the side effects associated with this generation of PPE and the accumulation of waste. Also, another factor associated with this is that as you all know, there has been an economic recession. So along with that, the global oil prices have also come down. So this has made significantly cheaper for manufacturers to produce plastic goods from these virgin materials, like you have fossil-based materials. So as the oil price have come down, these manufacturers are resorting to such fossil-based sources to produce the plastics. And earlier we used to depend on recycled plastic materials, but now since the oil prices have come down, the manufacturers are depending directly on these virgin or fossil-based sources for producing the plastics. So as a result, the low market demand for recycled plastics have come down, and therefore it is making it difficult to manage the waste, the plastic waste. Sustainable waste management is being made difficult because of such reduction in the oil prices. Now you come to the other component, nature. So nature, as you all know, we were able to witness the nature has given us a glimpse of how animal and plant species have reacted to decreased human disturbance. ഇല്ലേ, ലോക്ക്ഡൌൺ പീരീഡിൽ നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ആ നേച്ചറിന്റെ അതിൻ്റെതായ ഒരു ഭംഗിയിൽ നമുക്ക് ആസ്വദിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇഷ്ടംപോലെ പക്ഷികൾ നമുക്ക് ജനലിലേക്ക് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ കാണാം. നമ്മൾ ഇതുവരെ കാണാത്ത കുറെ പക്ഷികളും പിന്നെ അതേപോലെയുള്ള ആനിമൽസ് we were able to witness during the lockdown period, and because obviously it was due to less human disturbances that we were able to see the nature at her beauty. Now also less disturbance in urban areas have given the threatened ecosystem and habitat, the chance to recover, and also the species were able to occupy new spaces and niches as a result of less human disturbance. So as a result, what we can say is that you have to increase space for nature in cities, maintaining or the space has to be created in cities, so that when you make policies and all, that factor can also be taken into consideration. Like the space for nature should be actually given to the cities, so that nature can be seen at her best always. Now coming to noise pollution. Noise pollution, obviously, obviously noise pollution will be coming down, right? Because there was less disturbances, and also human activities were less. So ground vibration produced by human activities like road traffic, industrial activities, ellam korannathu kaaranam there was significant reduction in noise pollution. And when you come to water pollution also, it has come down. For example, in Italy, the Grand Canal in Italy has become much cleaner, and some aquatic species have also reappeared as a result of lockdown imposed in Europe. Also, നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം ഗംഗാ നദി, one of the highly polluted rivers in India ആണ്. It was also found to be cleaner during the lockdown period in India. So that we will be seeing it in detail in a case study. So we'll just see one of the reports which was actually published during the lockdown period regarding New Delhi. So New Delhi is ranked as one of the most polluted in the polluted city in the world by WHO. It was in May 2014. New Delhi was ranked as the most polluted city, and also the air quality index is usually more or used to be 200 or more, the usual air quality. So here with the air quality data, like taking into consideration some of the pollutant parameters like PM10. PM refers to particulate matter. Particulate matter 10, particulate matter 2.5, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone and ammonia. Air quality index was determined for 34 monitoring stations. 34 monitoring stations were fixed, and the pollutant parameter data was collected during the lockdown. So let's see how is the estimate. How are the estimates? So it has been said that the data has shown, or it has demonstrated, that the air quality has significantly improved. So you can see in the picture, this picture also says a lot, right? See, this is the image. First picture was taken during November 2019, and the next picture during March 30, 2020. So you can just see the difference, how the air quality has improved during the year. Concentrations of particulate matter 10, particulate matter 2.5 have also witnessed maximum reduction, and overall it has been said that there has been an improvement of 40 to 50% in air quality just after 4 days of commencing lockdown. 4 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞ ലോക്ക്ഡൌൺ തുടങ്ങി 4ാമത്തെ ദിവസം തന്നെ there has been a significant increase in air quality. About 40 to 50% of improvement in air quality has been observed. And also this is another picture. Here it shows the status of particulate matter 10 concentration during lockdown, during pre-lockdown and during lockdown. So this the blue shade comes to the low particulate matter concentration. So you can see that the blue shade is increasing during the lockdown period. And another example is that residents of Jalandhar. Jalandhar is a city in Punjab. So they were able to see the Himalayan mountain range during the lockdown period, which is a rare sight. It is lying nearly 213 kilometers apart, but they were able to witness it during April 3rd, when during the lockdown period, they were able to see the Himalayas with their bare eyes. Now coming to the impact on river quality. So due to lack of industrial effluents and also, the other human factors like reduction of religious cultural activities like puja, bathing, cremations, all those were not happening during the lockdown, and it has resulted in the increased water quality. The water was looking visibly cleaner, and also aquatic life we were able to see the aquatic life moving around during those days. And particularly when we say about Kaveri, the water quality was tested during that time, and it was found that the BOD, COD, pH, electrical conductivity, all the parameters were actually shown to improve during the lockdown period. Also, particularly of River Ganga, and the water was found to fit enough for drinking purposes after decades. It was revealed in a study by the Indian Institute of Technology. So they found that after decades, the water quality or the water was in Ganga was fit for drinking purpose. Also, due to lockdown, 22 drains which dispose sewage. Some of the industries, which actually industries and other small factories situated on the banks of the Ganga, was shut down during that period. So the stoppage of those 22 drains also has made the water cleaner, and DO quality has improved. DO means dissolved oxygen content. It is actually an indicator of improved water quality. So that was also found to be improved. It has gone up to 8 ppm, which is an indication of the improved quality of river water. And also on wildlife. See, this is very interesting. Earlier we used to watch the animals, but during lockdown, the situation was just the reverse. The animals are watching us. So that was the situation during those time. And some of the picture gave some of the animals spotted, or some of the wildlife which was spotted during those days. Like in Assam, we were able to witness rhinoceros. Then Noida, nilgai. And in Calicut, Malabar civet was spotted. Haridwar, elephants were spotted walking along the road. Then Tirupati, deer. Peacock was spotted. Mumbai. Peacock, usually we also see nowadays here also peacocks are seen. Then olive ridley turtles in Odisha. Then Gangetic dolphins was observed in Kolkata. So these are some of the wildlife which were observed during those days. So that was regarding New Delhi, and the case study I just took because that was one of the most studied cities during the lockdown. So that was the situation during lockdown. But what is the current scenario, and what is the next step we should take in order to combat the COVID-19 virus? So coming back to air pollution itself, we can say that air pollution or COVID-19 is cutting air pollution, but it will not slow climate change. It is only a temporary phenomenon. Like, we can take the example of China. Also, it was the first country to impose lockdown. And there also you can see that the nitrogen dioxide levels are already beginning to rise over the China. And also, meanwhile, the carbon dioxide will also increase, and we'll be finding it difficult to stabilize the climate even as nations work to cut emissions. So I hope you all are aware of the recent glacial burst in Uttarakhand. It has been reported as a result of climate change and global warming. Glacial retreat has taken place, and which has led to the burst in Uttarakhand. So why I said is that climate change is happening. So the situations which we saw or which we witnessed during lockdown was only temporary. As a result, nowadays the lockdowns are being eased. The life is getting back to normal rate. So what happened is that again situations will worsen. So what is needed is that technologies, policies, and investment have to be improved, and we have to find out more energy sources which are more greener and which are more reliable or renewable. And it is necessary to achieve cleaner air and as well as a stable climate. So what is the need of the hour is that it is time to put green energy research and climate policy has to be improved, and more research has to be attempted on such sectors. Now, another case of concern is marine environment and PPE. So earlier I have showed you some slides regarding what is PPE, and now we are going to see how is it affecting the marine environment. So the overuse of PPE during pandemic is worsening plastic pollution in the marine environment, because ultimately all the waste are being dumped in the ocean. So this is an alarming and poorly understood form of plastic pollution, and which is raising major concerns. Because if you have visited the beach nowadays, recently you can see that lots of this type of face mask, even in the roads we can see the face mask being abandoned, and the gloves, beaches, etc. I mean, this gloves, garments, splash proof garments, and other disposable items being actually littering the environment. So after what happens is that after these plastics reach the marine environment, some plastics may sink, which are heavier will sink and reach the bottom marine sediments. The other in some cases they may float in the seawater, like the less density polymers which float in the seawater, and some may actually become trapped in the sediments and will ultimately become part of the geological record. So this picture will give you an idea of the fate of this PPE into the marine environment. See, some will get sink, some may float on the surface, and some will actually get trapped in the bottom sediments. And another issue of concern is that these plastic things will be actually ingested entirely by the marine megafauna like sharks, whales, etc., mammals, sea birds, turtles, etc. It may get accidentally ingested. They may accidentally ingest those plastic things, and also some marine fauna become entangled with this elastic cords of face mask and some face shields. So in addition to that, this may serve as a habitat of invasive species and also microbial pathogens. So this may become a habitat for invasive species and microbial habitat, and thereby microbial pathogens, and thereby there is increase there. It is prone to more infection. Okay, so it is an issue of major concern. So the production as well as the disposal have increased tremendously. So what can be done is that there should be research, and we must first understand what are the main sources and how it is being managed. Like first you should understand how the things are going to the environment, and we must keep a track of these things before entering the marine environment. It has to be disposed and treated properly before it is being dumped into the into any other water bodies. Actually, the research must be there, so that and a tracking of these PPE and related plastics can be made. So this picture gives you an idea of how the PPE and other plastic wastes are damaging the marine environment. Next cause of issue is this impact of hand sanitizers on environment. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളിത് ഇഷ്ടംപോലെ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, പക്ഷെ നമുക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ടെറസ്ട്രിയൽ ആനിമൽസിന് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീങ്സിന് അത്രയ്ക്ക് പ്രശ്നമില്ല, ബിക്കോസ് ഇത് വേഗം ഇവാപറേറ്റ് ചെയ്തു പോകുന്ന സംഗതിയാണ്. നമ്മൾ കയ്യിലൊന്ന് തേക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ യു ക്യാൻ സീ ഹൗ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ഇവാപറേറ്റിംഗ്, ആൻഡ് ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് വോളറ്റൈൽ. പക്ഷെ പക്ഷേ ഈ പ്രശ്നം വരുന്നത് അക്വാട്ടിക് എൻവയൺമെന്റിലാണ്. ഇത് ജസ്റ്റ് ആക്സിഡന്റലി സ്പിൽ ഓവർ ആയ പോലെ it is reaching the aquatic bodies, and there it actually is of major concern. And aquatic organisms are the ones which are directly impacted by ethanol spills in the water body. So this is one of the component, ethanol. Here, according to US Environmental Protection Agency, wildlife gets affected with small, there is a table I have not put in the table. So if you search this site, USEPA, you can get more items related to how it is affecting the wildlife. Next component is isopropyl alcohol. So isopropyl alcohol, large amounts of spill in aquatic bodies will cause environmental impairment because it can have the potential to deplete the oxygen content in water. So other than that, it doesn't have any much impact on the environment. If it is accidentally spilled or if it is brought to large amount only, then it causes issues to the environment. Then hydrogen peroxide is also another component. So it does not immediately harm the environment because it is rapidly reacting with other components. But the overuse of all these alcohol-based sanitizers can result in antimicrobial resistance, which again can put more burden on already struggling healthcare professionals. അത് നമ്മൾ കൂടുതൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോൾ the microbes will get resisted, or it will get a resistant capacity to they get an ability so that the virus can act upon them. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് we should be very careful in using the disinfectants, particularly the sanitizers, and you should always limit it. എപ്പോഴും നല്ലത് സോപ്പും വെള്ളം ഒഴിച്ച് കൈ കഴുകുന്നത് തന്നെയാണ് നല്ലത്. So repeated exposure of these disinfectants, antibiotics or other genotoxic chemicals can make this virus gain mutation. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ പത്രത്തിൽ വായിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് അല്ലെ, ഓരോ ദിവസവും you are getting various mutants. വൈറസിന്റെ മ്യൂട്ടേഷൻ പ്രാപിച്ചിട്ട് ഓരോ പുതിയ സ്ട്രെയിൻ ആണ് ഇപ്പൊ വന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. സോ these will make they will be resistant, so that hand sanitizers ഉപയോഗിച്ചാലും നമുക്ക് അവരെ തടഞ്ഞു നിർത്താൻ പറ്റാതാവും. So that is another issue, the concern, immediate concern that we should all be careful about. So how the COVID-19 will end up harming the environment? This is a National Geographic report ആയിട്ട് വന്നതാണ്. ഇതായിരുന്നു headline, why COVID-19 will end up harming the environment. So because with the lockdown easing, again നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ കണ്ട പോലെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളെല്ലാം പിന്നെയും തലപൊക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. So a good example is China. So China was the first country to shut down when the virus hit, and one of the earliest to start reopening. And you can see how China's experience offers a preview of what could be in store elsewhere, because നേരത്തെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ആ എയർ ക്വാളിറ്റി ഇംപ്രൂവ്മെന്റ് ഒക്കെ ഇപ്പോൾ വാനിഷ് ആയിക്കൊണ്ട് ഇരിക്കുകയാണ്. So I am coming to the last slide. കൂടുതൽ നിങ്ങളെ ബോറടിപ്പിക്കുന്നില്ല ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ഓൾറെഡി ഉച്ച സമയമാണ്. സോ യു മൈറ്റ് ഗെറ്റ് ബോർഡ് ഇഫ് ഐ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ഓൺ. സോ വേറൊന്നുമില്ല, ഹൗ ക്യാൻ വി മൂവ് ബെറ്റർ? സോ മൈ ഒപ്പീനിയൻ ഇസ് ദാറ്റ് വി ഷുഡ് റീതിങ്ക് അവർ ചോയ്സസ് അല്ലേ. നമ്മള് we should actually it is a responsibility to ask questions. നമ്മൾ കഴിക്കുന്നതും നമ്മൾ കുടിക്കുന്നതും നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്താണ് നമ്മളൊന്ന് തിങ്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ട് വേണം നമ്മളത് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് our responsibility and we should ask questions. Are we eating healthy? Are we eating safely? Are we drinking healthy? Are the resources we are using is safe? അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ തന്നെ നമ്മളോട് തന്നെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ചോദിക്കണം, ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് അവർ റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി. ബിക്കോസ് wise using of resources and restoring areas back to their original glory after extraction is needed for this hour. നമ്മള് ഇപ്പൊ റോഡ് നമ്മൾ കൺസ്ട്രക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു, അപ്പൊ അതിനു വേണ്ടി കുറച്ച് മരങ്ങൾ മുറിക്കേണ്ടി വന്നാലും തിരിച്ച് ആ റോഡ് പണിയുമ്പോൾ വി ആർ സപ്പോസ് ടു റീസ്റ്റോർ ദോസ് ഏരിയാസ് ബൈ പ്ലാന്റിംഗ് മോർ ട്രീസ്. സോ ദാറ്റ് attitude has to be has to be restored. That should be the mindset of the mindset when development activities are taking place. And also biodiversity should also be noted or should also be taken care of, and usually local food diversity boosts nutrition, because you have seen that more people, if they have good immune system, they are less susceptible to diseases. So it is our duty to keep up our immune system by eating healthy. So because as a result of industrialization, you see the biodiversity has decreased. We are not able to see much of the local food that we used to see earlier. So the current situation has actually emphasized the importance of health and nutrition. So by combining traditional as well as modern practices, and also by taking upon the environment, or by taking good care of the environment, we can keep ourselves prepared, and we can keep ourselves ready for facing such other epidemics in the future. So that's all. Thank you all. Hope you were able to follow much of my presentation. So if you have any questions or interactions, please let me know.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon.
Ma'am, this webinar was really informative. നമ്മള് പലരും ചിന്തിക്കാത്ത കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന ചെറിയ പ്രവർത്തികൾ കാരണം നമ്മുടെ ചുറ്റുവട്ടത്ത് എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതിനെ കുറിച്ച് മാമിന്റെ ക്ലാസ് വളരെ ഇൻഫോർമേറ്റീവ് ആയിരുന്നു. പലരും ഗ്ലൗസ് മാസ്ക് പ്രോപ്പറായി ധരിക്കാതെയും ഗ്ലൗസും മാസ്കും ഒക്കെ വഴിക്കിലൊക്കെ വലിച്ചെറിയുകയൊക്കെ ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. അത് കാരണം നമ്മുടെ സറൗണ്ടിങ്സ് ചേഞ്ചസ് എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്നൊക്കെ മാം പറഞ്ഞു തന്നു. താങ്ക് യു മാം.
Thank you.
Ma'am has explained every single details very clearly. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. പേര് ആഗ്നസ് ആണോ?
അതെ മാം.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Agnes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having a wonderful session.